Yo, so Benks has been absolutely knocking it out the park these past few weeks when it comes to new cases. I did that Armor Pro case, easily one of my favorite cases for the 14 Pro Max. You're definitely going to see this in my revised top 10 cases for the 14 Pro Max. Hopefully I will have that out by this Friday, but this one right here is the case that I've really been waiting for. I've had my eye on it. They had a case very similar to this one, but they didn't sell it in the States, but this time they brought it to the States and they made it even better. Now we are talking about the Benks Air Armor Kevlar case for the 14 Pro Max, and of course a huge shout out to Benks for always looking out for your boy, dropping me their latest cases. Now I've been waiting for this. I got it in yesterday. This has been on my phone and I love it. It's going to be real hard to rank these cases for this new top 10 video from 1 to 10. Somebody going to get left out. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. There it is. Case protective, extremely thin and light, strong scratch resistance, perfect joint at seams, which is very important when we're talking about these Kevlar cases. Made for the 14 Pro Max, built with Kevlar. And that's basically it when it comes to it. So let's go ahead and get it up in the packaging. Of course, I had to put it back in here because yes, I have been using it. Nothing comes with the case just besides the packaging, nothing else in there. And let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, of course, it's going to be that Kevlar, so you will be able to see some smudges and a few things like that. But guess what? I don't care. Smudges and stuff really don't bother me no more. It just is what it is. I'm about protecting my phone, not for my case to be looking all super pristine. But let me give it a quick wipe down. But let's take a look at it. You get that nice 600D Kevlar that's on the back, so you're going to be able to feel it ever so slightly to the touch. You get a very nice metallic ring that goes around the camera. You're going to get a little bit of Benks branding right there. Very nice touch. Looks very good in my opinion. Flipping it over on the inside, of course, you're going to get those magnets built with Kevlar. And the thing I love about this thin case, which a lot of thin cases just doesn't have going for itself, is you get that top close and you get those two little relief cuts. And on the bottom, you get your bottom closed. So you already know how we say over here, your head is closed and they got the pants on. The booty isn't out when we are talking about having the ports and everything out in the bottom. The only thing that's going to be exposed is going to be where your volume up and down buttons are and your power button. Now, in my opinion, if I didn't have anything exposed, it'll be those two buttons and it'll be just fine. I wouldn't have any issues with it. So let's go ahead and bring the scale over here because this is a very, very light case. Let's go ahead and get the weight for you. And we are talking about 35 grams. So very light when we are talking about it on the phone, everything like that. So let's go ahead and grab the 14 Pro Max. And I tell you, this is going to be a very, very tight fit. And you just grab it in one of those corners and you just pop it in ever so slightly. And it seems like it may go in easy. So you're like, wait a minute, T, that thing doesn't have a tight fit. You're wrong. This thing fits insanely tight and it's insanely snug up on the device. So let's just go ahead and take a look at it there. That camera just looks very nice with that Benks around it with that metallic ring. Just very nice. Just a good look. Now, Benks has this rated up to 4 feet of drop protection up to 26 times. So it seems like you got a little bit of a drop protection. Now, would I take that? It's a thin case, all right? I'm trying not to drop this when it comes to this case. So let's go ahead and step around it. Let's see what we have going on. So on that top side, like I said, it's going to be completely closed. On that right side, we don't have to test the buttons out because as you can see right here, your buttons just has that very clean cutout for the power. Very same clean cutout for your volume up and down. And even when it comes to the bottom down here, you see all of your port cutouts. Everything is perfectly spot on, looks very good. And when it comes to that camera, looking at that camera protection, you do have that ring that is protecting that camera. So when you set it down, it is setting it down mostly on that camera ring. Now, one thing that I just it kind of irks me a little bit is I love this metallic ring right here and I just don't want it to get scratched up over time, but I seeing that that's basically what it rests on. It could potentially get these little scratches around this, but it could be durable. It's kind of brushed. It's kind of a matte feel, so it may eat and take scratches very well. So that's kind of something that we'll have to see as we go along when using this case. Now, how does the case fit on the phone? Let's go ahead and go to the layer on the tail protection. Now, when it comes to that, of course, rocking a tempered glass screen protector, it's going to be a thin case. You don't have no lips, all right? You don't have no front lips when it comes to these cases, so you might want to be very cautious when you were talking about dropping it. Look, just don't drop it when it comes to these cases. Just be extra careful and have that Apple Care up on deck if you happen to drop it, you know what I mean? Because this is going to be a thin case. Regardless if they say 4 feet of drop protection up to 26 times, this thing just doesn't have the protection around the case, more so kind of like the Armor Pro does, where you feel a little bit more comfortable if you did drop this because you just have a little bit more case to bounce off of. This one, you know what I mean? This is that thin. This is that minimalist case. You got to worry just a little bit. Now, how does the case fit on the device? This is the only corner that pops off. This is basically the corner that you're going to get able to get the case off. The rest of these corners, you're not getting these off. All right. You got to really fight. These don't pop off easy. You got to fight to get it off. So you pull this case off and then you got to fight with one corner to get it off. So yes, this case is going to be a very tight fit. This thing does not fit loose. This thing is not going to be coming off when it's on your phone, and that's what I expect when it comes to a thin case. This doesn't have any moving around. I feel like there's no loose little sides that's kind of popping and creaking when you were talking about the case. Everything seems very tight. Everything seems very precise, and that's the reason why I'm a huge fan of this case. Now, how does it feel in your hands? Feels very good. I mean, it feels just like any other thinnish type case, whether it comes to the later case, whether it comes to Pataka. That's the vibe that you're getting when we are talking about this case. This case could have easily been in my top minimalistic cases, my top thin case video that I did a few weeks ago. Could have easily been in that. And I wish I could redo it to put it in there, but feels good in the hand, keeps a very thin profile, doesn't feel like you have much on your phone. And I don't know, man. T is starting to lean towards the very thin and minimal cases. I used to be always a person who needed the most protection, but I'm like, T, you barely go anywhere like that, and when you do, your phone is majority in your pocket. So why do I have to have these cases that offer this crazy protection? I'm starting to lean a little bit towards these thin cases, man, and this one right here is going to be on the top of that list. Now, let's go ahead and test out that MagSafe strength, because when it comes to these thin cases, you know, sometimes it can lack in that MagSafe strength, but let me tell you what, man. Benks bought the MagSafe strength when they came with the Armor Pro, and guess what? They bought the MagSafe strength again when it comes to this Air Armor. This MagSafe, if you already know, if you're new to the channel, this base right here is, let's just say it, this heavy as hell. And now it is holding this base with no issues. And of course, I leave my hand down here because I don't want to damage my table. But that MagSafe strength is something serious right here when it comes to a thin case. So MagSafe works just fine. It's going to work just fine with all of your accessories, everything like that. Throwing the wallet up here, if that's something that you want to do. I always like testing these accessories out because you can kind of feel the standalone MagSafe strength when it comes to these accessories. And that wallet is up there. Apple MagSafe battery pack. These things snap up there with authority, and that MagSafe strength is not letting it go. So this Benks is bringing this MagSafe strength. Very, very strong magnet when it comes to this, all right? So should you buy app? Yes. Let's just cut it. Yes, you should buy this. This case sitting at 40 bucks right now, and I believe it's on sale from 50 if I'm not mistaken. If not, I'll correct myself in the comments, but right now, you can go get it for 40 bucks and it's a sale. And if you're into thin cases, if you're into that minimalist, very thin style case, this is going to be one to get, and I'm so glad that they finally brought it to market because I've seen this case before earlier this year, and I actually have it. It's just a little bit different in this case, a different material. It doesn't have this metallic ring going around it, but I never did a video on it because you couldn't go to the States and buy it. It was something that was overseas. Good to see that they finally bought the Air Armor over here for the 14 Pro series, for the 14 series, and it's available. Easily one of the best thin cases out there right now. If you get it and you're into thin cases, you will not be disappointed. And your boy will be using this on his phone as his daily for a while. But if you're into thin cases and you want to check them out, I did a video of the best thin cases, and you can go ahead and check them right there if you're looking for something that's a little bit more different.